Hello, everyone. The news in general from Ukraine have not been so great lately. So, in the spirit of the holiday season, I want to start with some good news for a change. Thank you, Netherlands. Netherlands is to deliver some F-16s to Ukraine. Yes. They're talking about giving Ukraine 18 F-16 jets. Ukraine has been asking for them for a long time. The pilots have been undergoing training in France and in the UK. So getting some actual equipment is amazing. And again, I kind of get it. Netherlands has a long and violent history for such a small country. You know, they've invaded people, people invaded them, and so I think they get it. And being a small country, I think they realize they're vulnerable too in a lot of ways. So, again, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Netherlands. This is going to make a huge difference. Now, remember the conversation we have been having over the course of several weeks that US and other countries, other Ukraine's allies, are considering basically taking whatever assets they froze from Russia and just handing that to Ukraine. That way they don't have to dip into their own budget. We can just, that money's already there. And so, in response, of course, Russia started posturing and threatening and said that it will respond in kind. It may sever diplomatic relationship with the US and with anybody else who does that, except all of the smart people, if they're smart, have already pulled their resources from Russia. So there's nothing to freeze. And those who are not smart and kept their resources and businesses in Russia pretty much deserve it. So, Also, again, Russia really needs to know when to stop, and they don't. Because in addition to threatening to freeze foreign assets, including US assets in Russia, Russia threatened to respond in kind to US expanding its military presence and deploying missile installations in Europe. Okay, so where are you going to put your stuff, Russia? Belarus. Belarus is a possibility. But other than that, so you're going to have stuff in Belarus facing all of Europe, backed by US power? Okay, try it. Just try it. Please, make my day. Another topic I have been bringing up many, many, many times is that people of Ukraine are very capable, very smart, and very creative, despite of Russian propaganda historically portraying them as lazy and stupid. So, people of Ukraine have already been committing acts of sabotage within the occupied territories and deep within Russia. And since our foreign allies are sort of wavering, I think that is a correct assessment that such acts are going to go up. Now, here's Russia's problem. So Russia keeps saying they want to expand, they want to expand, they want to expand its territory. As of the last statement, to the size of Russian Empire prior to 1917. So, okay, the problem with big territory, and Russia already has a very big territory, nearly 1/6 of Earth's dry land. That's how big they are. Is that it's the bigger, the harder it is to watch over it. And so that is what made those acts of sabotage possible. That and support of the Russian people who are not posturing on the internet, who are not staging bogus miniature figure protests. Look that up, miniature figure Russian protests. It is hilarious and useless. But who are actually collaborating with Ukrainians to help bring these things about. Having, again, lived in the Soviet Union and having had all of the men in my family serve in the army, here's something I know. A lot of Russia's army bases are in very remote, distant areas, with no rail, no airfields, nothing. The only way you can get there by car, and that car has better have a four-wheel drive. Okay, so, and that's not just military bases; it's also weapons bases, weapon storehouses, etc., etc. And so you can't keep an eye on all of those. And usually, when they're that remote, they're not very well equipped. They're not very well looked after. And so, yeah, I think all of that together is what makes the acts of sabotage possible. And I hope Russia is bracing for more. So these types of articles are now appearing across different sources. It's not just U.S. Washington Post and New York Times, but this is not really new. But my question is, what went wrong? You were celebrating this war. You were celebrating, first of all, 10 years ago, almost 10 years, invasion of Crimea. You were dancing in the street and saying Crimea is ours. Okay? You were doing that, and you wanted this, special military operation to show Ukrainians who is boss, etc., etc. So what went wrong? What's the problem? Oh, or is it that the problem you're having now is that your government had just told you that you should each have 8 children to supply more cannon fodder for the Russian army? Is that the problem? And you did not anticipate it. Interesting. And this is from Radio Free Europe, talking about the testimony of some Russian soldiers who were talking about what it's like to fight in the Ukrainian war. And again, I want to ask them, what went wrong? You had such dreams, such ambitions of marching across Kiev. You were so eager to, blaze across Europe and wash your boots in the Channel. What happened? What went wrong? Why such lack of enthusiasm? Because you know what? This is, again, very easily fixed. All you have to do is turn around and go home. If all of every single one of you there at the Ukrainian front does that, there is not a single commander, not a single Putin, not a single Medvedev who can stop you. They cannot arrest and execute the entire army. There are tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of you. You already know, all of you know, in your heart of hearts that this war was bogus, unprovoked, and you have absolutely nothing to do there. And your colleagues have already created you a very bad reputation by committing atrocities and acts of genocide on Ukrainian territory. So, the longer you stay, the more you perpetuate that particular fact. Turn around, quit, go home. Do it now